friends, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a book haul for you all. We got some interesting little goodies to talk about. This is kind of part one. I have some other things I'm waiting on that aren't here yet, but I figured I'll just make like a part two or another little haul, and you know, it can be like a part two, but whatever. Anyways, I have more books in this. I just am doing these 10 today. So yeah, let's get into some of the books that I have recently bought. First up is the Volume 1 Deluxe Edition of Killing Stalking by Kugi. This is a South Korean comic called a manhwa. I think that's correct. I did look up pronunciations, but if I am incorrect, please feel free to correct me in the comments down below. So this is similar to a manga, but this is actually read from left to right instead of right to left like in a manga, which I found very interesting. I was kind of looking into the differences and I didn't know that, so I thought that was pretty cool. But this has been on my radar for a really long time. I've been waiting for this to come out. I've been waiting, and this is supposed to be a very dark and messed up and pretty disturbing story. It deals with obsession and stalking, obviously, and I'm really interested in this story. I'm very excited. I believe there will be about 4 volumes of this deluxe edition. At least that's what I saw when I was looking it up. But this is volume 1. I'm really excited for this. I've heard really good things, and yeah, I'm just like super interested in the story, and just, I don't know, I just want to know what it's like. I don't know, I'm very interested, and I think it'll be something right up my alley, so I cannot wait. I think I'm going to dive into this sometime this month, because I'm kind of in the mood for some graphic novels, manga, comic kind of things. I want to read some of that, so I think I'm going to pick up this very soon. Following a similar theme, I have volume 9 of Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. This is one of my favorite manga series. I'm absolutely obsessed with this storyline. Look, volume 8, it left on a cliffhanger, okay? I am dying to read this one. This one's been out for a hot minute and I haven't picked it up yet. I know volume 10 is coming out sometime this month, or at least is expected to come out sometime this month. So I think I'm gonna wait till volume 10 comes out and then I'm gonna read them back to back. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna need to read volume 10 immediately after I read volume 9. This is a very dark psychological horror manga. It's about a mother-son relationship that is very unhealthy and dark, and it's so good. Shuzo Oshimi does great art, and this story is just one of my absolute favorites, and I am hooked. And it's killing me that I have to wait so long for each release, but I love it so much that I will wait as long as I have to read this entire series. So yes, I can't wait to read this. Next up is another anticipated new release of mine, and that is Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. So I've seen a lot of people reading this one already, and I'm nervous about these new releases, everybody. I'm so nervous because I have not had the best luck. And I had high hopes for this one. I like the way it sounds. On the back, it says it's a mixture of Midsummer with elements of American Psycho and a pinch of I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which honestly, that's a lot. It sounds great, but it makes me nervous, right? Like, I've had high expectations for all these new releases and they've kind of let me down. So I'm a wee bit nervous for this one. It's one of those floppy books though. Like look at how floppy. I'm obsessed. I love floppy books like this because this is kind of a bigger book, which surprised me. So when it's this floppy, I don't know, is that just me? Does anybody else love these like floppy books? It just is like Mwah, you know I love it. So I don't know too much about this book, but what I do know is Mary, the main character, is a middle-aged woman, and she's kind of going through some changes both inside and out. She's experiencing hot flashes, you know, menopause. She starts experiencing these visions, and she finds out that they're like related to this serial killer. I don't know. I haven't heard too much. I don't want to know too much. It sounds very interesting. It is one of my anticipated releases. I have high hopes, but honestly, maybe I should lower my high hopes because, listen, it's been a rough year for new releases. 2022. It's not been good for me, okay? So I want to say this is going to be really good, and I am expecting it to be like a 5-star, but I'll be lucky if this is a 4-star. Okay, I will. I'll be really lucky. It sounds really good. I love the cover. I think the cover is really cool. It's a little bit, you know, quiet. Like, it doesn't really hit you in the face at first, and then when you look at it more, you're like, oh, okay, creepy, you know? Creepy. So, yeah, I'm excited. I hope I like it. Let me know if you've read it and if you liked it. So, this next book is a cover buy. I'll admit it. And that is Stranger Things Happen by Kelly Link. This is a collection of short stories, and this cover is giving Nancy Drew vibes, and I'm obsessed with that. Look at how beautiful that cover is. I'm sorry, just take a minute. Just take a minute. Just look at it, breathe it in. I'm sorry, it's beautiful. I'm obsessed. I love it. I want to look at it forever and ever. I don't know too much about this collection, honestly. You all know that I have been really into short story collections lately. This just says that there are 11 extraordinary stories. They're quirky, spooky, and smart, and they all have happy endings. Every story contains a secret prize. Each story was written especially for you. The happy ending thing kind of makes me nervous because I got my hopes up a little bit. I was like, wait, really? Happy endings? I love a happy ending. But then I was like, are they lying to me? Is that a lie? I don't know, but I'm intrigued now. We know I love a happy ending. I do. I can't help it. It's just the person I am, okay? I'm imperfect, okay? I'm imperfect. I'm very excited. It sounds interesting. I like the cover. I'm hoping I really enjoy it. Short stories have really been like it for me recently. I've really been like going for them. I don't know. So I really want this to be like a 5-star read, mostly just because the cover is a 5-star cover. I don't know. It just sounds like fun. I don't know. Let me know if you've read this. I hope I really like it. We'll see. Okay, next up is another new release. I know. What can I say? I'm flawed. I'm flawed. That is Blackmouth by Ronald Malfi. So after reading Come With Me last year by Ronald Malfi, I was obsessed, and I've been trying to read more Ronald Malfi books. I've only read one other since Come With Me, and it wasn't as good as Come With Me, so I am very excited about this one. I think it's gonna be for people who really love It by Stephen King. The plot sounds very familiar. It's about the main character who had a traumatic childhood, and he's estranged from his brother. But then events are gonna lead the brother and him back together, and they're gonna have to face with their friends the childhood trauma that they endured, like things that went on, that kind of thing. It sounds a lot like It. I like the idea of it if it can be condensed, which this is shorter than It, thank God. Like along the same lines, but not as wordy and, you know, as much as Stephen King's whole thing. Maybe I'll like this a lot because I actually do like the idea of It. It's just too long for me. I just can't. Okay, I know. Stephen King and me, we just don't get along. We don't vibe. So I'm hoping that this will be the version of It, that similar vibe that I can get on with a little bit more. I really enjoy Ronald Malfi's writing. I think it's really beautiful and like, I don't know, it just has really nice, has a nice feeling to it. I know, sounds weird, but I have high hopes for this one. The next book is a book that was sent to me by Grand Central Publishing and Novel Suspects, and that is The Darkness of Others by Kate Holohan, I think is how you pronounce that name. I'm not sure, but I think so. This is a thriller, and the cover, I'm sorry, beautiful. Look at those covers. Look at those colors. Aren't they so pretty? So this book is about the main character, Imani, whose best friend is married to this well-known movie director. And this movie director is found murdered, and everyone suspects the wife because, you know, it's always the spouse, you know. But Imani knows that her best friend would not do that, and Imani is a psychiatrist, and she kind of takes it upon herself to start digging around, trying to figure out who actually did it, because she knows it's not her best friend. Also, Imani and her husband have these house guests staying with them, but they're a little bit suspicious. There's something, you know, not quite right. I think this sounds really, really good. This will be my first book. Yeah, I believe this will be my first book by Kate Holohan. And I'm really excited. I think it sounds really interesting and really exciting, and I love trying out new thrillers. This book comes out August 23rd. So this month, not too far away now, but I think it sounds really, really good. Next up was another book that was sent to me by William Morrow Publishing, and that is the Paulbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I actually know nothing about this book, and I want to keep it that way. I know a lot of people have been talking about this book. I don't know anything about this book. I don't know the plot. I don't know anything about it, but I loved Paul Tremblay's book, A Head Full of Ghosts. I absolutely loved that one, so I'm really excited to read something else from him. I also did kind of take a little sneak peek inside because I know people were talking about it. Very interesting the way that this is written. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. There is like writing in the margins, like someone's correcting the book while you're reading it. So I don't know. Very, very excited for it though. I've heard a lot of things, mixed things, a lot of positive things, but I've heard mixed things. So I'm gonna go in with a very open mind and try not to know too much about it, because I think that'll make it more fun for me. The next book is a romance, and I am so excited about this one because it is a fake dating romance, and we all know fake dating is my favorite, and that is Fake It Till You Bake It by Jamie Wesley. I'm sorry, the name? Fake It Till You Bake It? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it is so cute! From what I can tell, this is about the main character named Jada, and she kind of has her image destroyed because she rejects a marriage proposal on a reality dating show, and you know, her image gets a little bruised. She ends up deciding to lay low, and she ends up working at this Sugar Blitz. That's what it's called, Sugar Blitz. It's a cupcake bakery, and she's working alongside a professional football player, and they're gonna accidentally be mistaken as a couple, so they're going to end up faking it to help out the bakery and also to help out Jada's image. I don't know, sounds super adorable. I'm obsessed with fake dating. That's like my favorite trope ever, so I have high hopes for this one. Also, just like a cupcake shop sounds just like everything I ever want in a romance, so I'm very excited for this one. Next up is Now You're One of Us by Asa Nonami. So this book has actually been really hard for me to get my hands on. From what I could tell, it was out of print for the longest time, but I was actually scrolling on Barnes and I came across this, and it didn't say that it was out of stock, so I bought it and it showed up. So I don't know if there was a reprint or maybe they were just really backed up so it was out of print for like a little bit, but I got my hands on it and I am so excited because I've been dying to read this book since the moment I read the plot. So this is supposed to be a mixture of the books Rebecca and Rosemary's Baby, which I haven't read Rebecca. but I absolutely loved Rosemary's Baby, so I feel like this is gonna be like right up my alley. So basically this story is about the main character who just recently got married to her husband, and she starts getting acquainted with her in-laws, and they move into the house with them, and there's just like a little bit of something, right? Like the family has quirks, and when you marry into a family, you gotta get used to them, right? But there's just something a little bit off, a little bit interesting, and that's all I really know. I'm very excited. I think it sounds really, really good, and the cover, if you can't tell, is a bar of soap with a hair on it. So, you know, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. And I really want to read this one. So, I can't wait. The last book that I am going to share with you all was a cover by. This cover is absolutely beautiful. It's so stunning. And that is Creatures of Passage by Maroa Yejide. Look at how stunning. Look at how stunning this is. Tell me this isn't beautiful. Oh my god. So I actually don't know too much about this. So it sounds like this is going to be a dual timeline of sorts, so 1967 and 1977. In 1967, we're following a taxi driver in Washington, D.C. who's grieving the death of her twin brother who was murdered and dumped in this river. And it sounds like she's coping with alcohol. And then in 1977, it's following her estranged great nephew who is 10 years old. His name is Dash, and he's finding himself drawn to the banks of the same river. And Dash ended up witnessing something very bad at his school, so I think he's going to the river to like kind of cope with what he witnessed. And while he's at this river, Dash is having conversations with a mysterious figure he calls the Riverman. Yeah, so I guess the two timelines will end up having a connection. I think this sounds really interesting and actually really sad. Could have definitely a lot of triggers for certain people, so check content warnings and trigger warnings before like picking it up, but it definitely sounds like something I will really enjoy. And this cover is stunning. It's beautiful. I'm obsessed, and it sounds really, really, really good. And there you have it, my friends. There was a little bit of a haul for you all. I have some more books that I do need to haul soon, so maybe next week you might see that. We'll see how that goes. But we'll be seeing a haul sometime in the very near future, so hopefully you all don't mind. If you've read any of these, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want me to vlog my experience reading any of these, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I guess that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy hauls. That way I can keep providing you with hauls. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends, talk about dark, disturbing, messed up horror, thrillers, romance, manga, all kinds of things. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!